Hello everybody, back here for another episode of Idiot's Guide to Woodworking. And what we're going to try here is I'm going to try and put a finish on this table. Don't know if I'm going to paint it or not. I probably will end up painting it because there's a couple problems. Like right here, there's a spot where a finishing nail or something's went in there and it split up the wood. And I don't think it's going to show up very good if I try and putty that down and stuff and then actually stain it. I'll see what it turns out after I get it all done. It's had some varnish or some glue or something, paper stuck to it. It's a whole bunch of really, odd damage. There's a lot of scrapes here on the end. Overall, it's a pretty solid table. It's a nice size. It's got some funky legs here. They got a little weird kind of angle at them. I originally planned on making this into a computer desk, which the possibility still might come about, but I don't know exactly, because this front lip underneath here is too deep, in my opinion. So I'd have to put bases on the legs to raise the whole thing up, to make it high enough for my chair. And then by the time you put a sliding drawer for a keyboard in, a lot of stuff just starts getting really odd, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So far, I've just been kind of using it as a really simple assembly table and that, but it's driving me nuts because it's too big, it's too heavy, it's too bulky. It's an odd size. It's not a true dead flat surface because it's got a little bit of a cope in it, and I don't like the rounded edges. It's hard to clamp onto. There's a lot of things I don't like about it for a assembly table, but it's nice enough shape that I'm going to use it as an excuse to try and sand it down. Maybe, like I said, maybe varnish it, maybe paint it, whatever, but I mostly just want to get rid of all this weird little bleach spots, and I'm also fearful those won't stain out very good. And the biggest thing is get rid of all this paper stuck over here on the side. So my plan to start with this to really knock this thing out is going to be my cheap, I think this was like 25 bucks, my little tool shop belt sander. I'm not going super aggressive. I think this is probably 120 grit, maybe something like that. I don't need 80 grit, like I said, there's not a lot of real damage. There's little scuffs and scrapes on the sides. This paper is going to be the hardest part. So I'm going to work on this side, work my way back and forth, see how it does. The legs aren't bad at all. I can probably mostly hand sand that, especially if I'm going to paint it. Won't be a big deal there at all. And then I'll come back at the whole thing with probably a 200 grit on my belt sander, and then from there I'll go up to a random orbital sander and see what happens. So this is what I got. Once I get it finished, if it turns out good, I'll let you know. If it turns out crappy, I'll let you know that too. Have yourself a great day, and thanks for watching part 1.